Thank you so much for joining us. In this season of thankfulness, we wanted to talk about the value of having a grateful heart. Welcome, Lindsay. How does having an attitude of gratitude help our mental and physical health?
Gratitude overall is showing an appreciation for something that's meaningful to you. It might be a relationship, it could be something that someone has done for you or something that you have in your life. And there are a lot of research studies that show that showing this appreciation and having this attitude of gratitude improve your mood. It helps us to think about things in a more positive way, and the more routinely that we engage in that act, the more positive benefits that individuals will notice over time with their mood, and generally creating more positive emotions, connectedness to others, and warmer experiences overall. In terms of our physical health, when we think and feel more positively, we're going to feel better physically as well. We will have more energy, we will have more motivation to get up and do the things that we want to do. So overall, having an attitude of gratitude is something that benefits us as a whole person and also contributes positively to the people around us that we're expressing that gratitude to.
So Lindsay, can you suggest some practical, maybe clever ways that we can track our gratitude, that we can also just sort of recognize it in our own hearts, but also express it to those around us and people we love?
Gratitude is a really simple thing to express, and we can do things both externally and internally to help us better develop this skill. So externally, showing gratitude to someone else might mean writing a note to them, sending a text message, leaving a voicemail, or even communicating to them face to face, something that they've done or a way that they've impacted your life that really has benefited you or makes you feel good. So it can be just a quick external conversation with someone. My husband and I are working on better expressing moments of gratitude that we notice throughout the week, because we know that the more often we do this, again, the better connection that we're going to develop also with the person we're expressing the gratitude toward. We can internally express gratitude. So it might be a situation where you got a really, really busy day, but you want to really develop this practice. So you just take a moment to think about somebody or something that you're really appreciative of. It can just be a mental act as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be physical. But we can also do things like write down the experiences, the moments, the people that are really meaningful to us. You could write down 1, 2, or even 3 things every day. It might feel a little repetitive at first or maybe a little bit rote, but the more consistently you practice it, the easier that's going to be. There are great gratitude journals out there that you can pick up and use. I have a coworker who is working with her kids on developing an attitude of gratitude, and every November they buy a pumpkin, and every day they write something on that pumpkin that they are really appreciative of. So it's really a matter of a practice and repetition that really helps us to connect with that sense of gratitude and make it a more meaningful part of every day.
I love that idea with the pumpkin, especially this time of year. That's perfect for kids. And it reminds me of something that we did with my family when we were growing up. We'd say prayers before dinner every night, and then after the prayers we would go around the table, and each child and the parents, each person said either something you were grateful for or an intention that you had. And I ended up continuing that on with my kids too, because I just think it's so nice to sort of reinforce that kind of as a daily practice. If you have any other great ideas for families to do together with their kids, let us know.
Yeah, I think instilling that attitude of gratitude in children, especially younger children, is really important, because all they know is really what they experience in their everyday life. They don't have that comparison point that things could be harder, or that other families, other situations, they might not have access to the same things. So I love that idea of going around the dinner table and expressing, something that they're grateful for today. You get some really great answers from little kids, especially when you do that. But no matter what they're expressing appreciation for, it's a great thing to do. The Thanksgiving month is an easy one to do. I've seen families do like tree projects where every day they write on a leaf something that they really appreciate. As I mentioned, my coworker who writes something she's grateful for on a pumpkin every day is a really great thing to do. And you could even make it a family activity where you're sending like a quick video message, maybe to an extended family member who lives out of state nearby, or someone you haven't been able to access recently, and just send a quick little video clip identifying something that you or your kiddos really appreciate about them. It takes just a couple seconds to do, but those are so appreciated, I think, especially when we've had more distance from people lately, or maybe it just hasn't been as safe to see them. So that's a really nice way to connect as well.
Also, at this time of year, we have lots of wonderful family gatherings. We get to see loved ones we haven't seen for a long time, but sometimes there can be some difficult conversations to navigate. There could be political divisions. Maybe we're missing a loved one, or someone's coping with a serious illness, or maybe old family arguments kind of resurface. So can you give us any suggestions on how we can best navigate what might be some challenging conversations at family gatherings?
There are a lot of opportunities for conversations to get incredibly complicated, with all of the changes in politics, the experiences everyone has had over the course of the pandemic. And generally, I think we've had difficulties with close family conversations overall, even without those things being involved. So I just really encourage people to listen and try to understand the other person's emotion in the conversation, or even just recognize the emotion. We want to be clear, we want to be direct, certainly, but not aggressive. And just allow opportunity, hopefully, for a good dialogue about what's going on. But I think recognizing the other person's emotions are really important. Maybe somebody's really frustrated because you're not getting together as a family this year because not everybody has the same vaccination status, or you're choosing to stay back because your kiddos haven't had the opportunity to be vaccinated yet. So having just a straightforward conversation about that, letting the other person certainly voice their concerns, but also, being okay with setting a clear limit and boundary and saying, I know this is really hard, and I know you miss us, and we miss you too, and we're really looking forward to the opportunity when we can get together again. So it's really taking the time to express how you feel about it, understanding how they feel about it, and certainly when things if it's declining, if the conversation's getting worse, it's okay to table that and say, I understand we're both feeling maybe a little bit more heated right now. Can we pick this conversation up later? Or could we stop right now and just take a break from it? There's nothing wrong with walking away from that moment. And if you do it politely, most people are going to go along with it.
Lindsay, can you tell us one thing that you are especially grateful for this holiday season?
Right now, the thing I'm really grateful and excited for, last week my almost 7-year-old was able to get his first COVID vaccine. And for a kid who's not super excited about shots, he was pretty pumped to get this one, obviously with some reservation. But it's meaningful, and I think this is where gratitude comes in. When we think about perspective and how at the start of everything, that wasn't something that was available to us. It wasn't something available to anybody. And so having that sense of appreciation for everything that we've learned through this stretch of time, the ability to move around more freely than we had before, and seeing the benefits of science and just the excitement of these steps being able to happen, so that hopefully we continue to go back to a place where we feel safe maneuvering around and doing everything. So I don't know if he would have expressed the same degree of gratitude about it as I would. He was excited to get a coupon for free ice cream, but we felt really good, I think, as a family, just knowing that's one less thing that we'll have to worry about.
Fantastic. I'm happy for you. That's a wonderful thing to be grateful for. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your thoughts. I'm looking forward to finding new ways to add up my blessings and to express my gratitude to others this holiday. Thank you.